I haven't done it in a while. Talk about this pro circuit, where we're at, what's going on, kind of recap what's happened, talk about what's coming up, and and then I'll get to some arena streaming. We'll. I haven't actually gotten the foil. I've done one run, went 4-2 or 5-2 in the first arena, or in my first run. So maybe I'll get a foil on my next run. But let me just wait a minute, see if a few people come in. I'm just making sure people can hear me. I've had audio problems like half the time I stream. Um, so, first I wanted to talk about the pro circuit. Hey Elizabeth, how you doing? Alright, cool, they can hear me. Alright, so let me get the schedule. So we're currently on the 5th event. Maybe I'll start with the 5th event and then work backwards. And if I need to zoom in, if you can't see this stuff, let me know when I can zoom in. So here's where we are with the 5th event. This is the second Grand Slam. Let me scroll over. This is the finals right here. C Fudge is in the finals. This is C Fudge's first time in the finals or in the top 4, I believe, in an event. On the other side of the bracket, Cebus Ripper has gotten into the top 4, and we're just waiting for one more. The current game going on is Klemp versus Wussy right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. What's up, Adam? Oh, all right. So the current game going right now in the top 16 is Wussy versus Klemp. Winner of that will play Tyra Zeal in the quarterfinals. And then the winner of that will play Cebus Ripper. And then the winner of that will play C Fudge in the finals. So that's where we're at for Event 5. The, oops, what did I just do? Okay, nothing. Event 6 is open for registration. I'll post it officially on the Facebook group. Who's your nemesis, Elizabeth? You said he's my nemesis, and him. So I guess 2 people there are your nemesis. Here is event 6. All right, so event 6 I changed a little bit from what it was originally going to be in a few ways. Event 6 will include missions, which is the most recent release from White Wizards. It's been out for a month or 2. Missions. I hope we get as many people participating, but I don't know. I don't know how people feel about it, but I figure 1 event out of 10 with missions is okay. So the full format will be the core set and Colony Wars plus fleets, year 2 promos, and missions. Oh, United Heroes and missions. It'll be a double elimination, which we haven't done yet. The top 16 or the final 16 in that double elimination will advance to stage 2, which is going to be a 4-round Swiss. And then the points in the points are all explained on the website. I'm not going to go through those here. Elizabeth's nemesis is Sea Fudge and Cebus Ripper. Cebus Ripper's good. He's good. He's been biding his time in the pro circuit. He's ranked around 8 in the 80s, but clearly he's going to jump up now after getting to the top 4 at least in event 5. So that's what's going on next. Like I said, you can register now. Andrew, how's it going? So I haven't recapped any of the past events except for the first one, I guess. So I was going to go kind of work backwards about what we've had. So I went through event 5 here and where we're at. So the event 4 was the bottom row 2-stage tournament. It was a round robin into a single elimination. It was Deegan who won that event. Let's go down to the results. Deegan took first, Casmo took second, and the other players listed here are the ones who rounded out the top 8. Will this be on video on demand? I don't even know what that means. You mean is it being recorded on Twitch? If so, yes. I'm not a technical guy, man. So you'll be able to watch it later. Am I talking too fast? All right. So that was event 4. Event 3 was the first Grand Slam of our season, of season 1. You can see here it's the Frosty Grand Slam. It's been renamed after Jeremy Lazar, Frosty, who won the first Grand Slam. Second place was Amanda Storm, Baby Girl. And then we had in the top 4, Rye ABC. That was his first event, and he got into the top 4 of that Grand Slam. And it looks like there's a link here not working, so I'll have to go back and fix that later. And then, so that's what happened in our first Grand Slam. It will be named the Frosty Grand Slam as long as he keeps playing and no one wins this Grand Slam more than once. If someone he's won it once. If someone ever wins this Grand Slam twice, it will be renamed after that person. But otherwise, this will be the Frosty Grand Slam. Jennifer, how's it going? So that's event 3, and then I don't think I even recapped event 2. So event 2 was a single elimination tournament. Dusto took that one, beating RoxBG in the finals. There's Tyraziel. He's here. He got into the top 4 in that one. And there's C-Fudge, who's in the finals of the current event. So that's kind of where we're at. And then if you couldn't remember, in the first event of the SRPC, BMC Fluff won with Sweet Justice finishing second. So that's what we've done so far. I wanted to just go through, if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about that I haven't or I'm not talking about, just ask questions. That's fine. Alright, so let me go through. Hold on. I was going to just highlight a few things in our rankings and our stats. This is, let me zoom in a little bit if I can. View, zoom. Here we go. This is the current standings through event 5. So all of the games in event 5 that have been played so far have been entered. So this is how the standings are right now. So Frosty is still in first. I think he got bounced in the round of 32, but he's still in first. C-Fudge, who's gotten to the finals, has jumped up to second. And let me highlight the top 12. I always, focus on the top 12 because it's the top 12 that will make it into the season final. So I always kind of focus on groups of 12, the first 12. So I was just going to kind of talk about each of these players in the top 12 and what's got them there so far. Frosty, of course, won the first Grand Slam. Grand Slams get you the most points, so it stands to reason he got into first. He's been number one for 2 events in a row now. Our first number 1 player was BMC Fluff after he won event 1. Then Dusto took over the number 1 spot after winning event 2. Frosty, of course, took over the number 1 spot after winning event 3, and he held on to it after event 4. And he might hold on to the top spot after event 5. There's only 2 players that could take over number 1. One is Sea Fudge. If he ends up winning in the finals, he will take over the number 1 spot. And then Andrew Tyraziel, if he's currently sitting at 9th, and he is in the top 8 at least in the current Grand Slam. So if he can win outright or win the rest of his games, he will jump to number 1. So Andrew, you've got something there to play for, some prestige there. So all the other players that are still alive in the current Grand Slam, if they were to be the ultimate winner, that would not get them enough points to overtake Frosty. So he does have a chance to keep the number 1 spot for a third event in a row. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So Frosty, like I said, he was the first Grand Slam winner. He's reached the top 8 twice out of 5 events so far. His win percentage so far is 68.5% in the SRPC, so that's pretty good. Sea Fudge, who's gotten into number 2 at least. Of course, we know he's gotten into the Grand Slam number 2 finals. Has a chance to win it. And he's also been in the top 8 twice out of 5 events. His win percentage is at 62% for the SRPC so far. Baby Girl, she was in the, I should say, in the top 12 so far. 3 out of the 4 event winners are in the top 12. And most of the top 12 have at least made it to a semifinals in one event. There's a few that have only been to the top 8, but they're in the top 4 because they've kind of been doing. Just where on the list are we all? You want to know where you are? All right. So who's here? Let's see. Elizabeth. Maybe I'll do a search. Imam, you are at 96th. And these are up to date. Who else is here? Alex. So I almost typed Alex. Silent Al. Al, you are at 26th. You are at 26. And like I said, these are all up to date. Jennifer, you want to see where you are? Clever Missy, you were at 50. You're at 50. So keep in mind, at the end of the season, there will be a season finals. There'll be a season finals. Looks like a platinum roster up there. Where in the top 12? Let's see. Who's in the... I think... Baby Girl's in the final, in the platinum. Deegan, Casmo. I can't remember if Polka is. Sweet Justice. I Am. Bungo. Yeah, a lot of them are. About maybe half. So I was saying, in the season finals... Here, let me go to the... I'm kind of jumping around, but... So, let me pull up season schedule. So, at the end, there'll be a season finals. It will be tiered. So in tier 1, it's the people ranked 1 through 12. In tier 2, the next 12 ranked. In tier 3, the next 12. So the top 36 players will get into one of the tiers of the season finals. Everyone else will be playing in a single elimination at the same time. So getting into the top 36 will be pretty good. That's something to shoot for, to get into one of those tiered finals. So back to this. So who else wanted to see where they're at? Am I thinking of adding missions to the formats? Yes, missions will be in the next one. Event 6. So, and after this stream, I'm going to post on Facebook the registration. So you can start registering now for Event 6. That'll be the only event this season that will have missions, and we'll see how it goes. So if anyone else wants to know where they're ranked, I can look it up. So I was talking about, so Baby Girl, like I said, she got into the Grand Slam 1 finals. Her win percentage is around 60% so far in the SRPC. Dusto won Event 2. His win percentage is 61%. How many people are there total? So let's scroll all the way down. So we're at 160 people. 160 people have participated in at least one event. Some of these people you can see, Event 1, they just did the first one and haven't come back. But we've had people come in. So the number of participants in each event has been about the same, almost the same, around 135, 136. But some people drop off, some people come in. So, I mean, we've had 160 people play overall, but if, based on what I've seen, you're really comparing yourself to 136 people about. In any given event, that's how many people are actively participating. Who else in the top 12? Deegan. Deegan was the Event 4 winner. His win percentage is pretty high. I think it's the highest so far in the SRPC. It's 72%. Casmo got to the finals of the previous event, Event 4. Casmo has a record so far. Out of the 5 events of the SRPC so far, he has gotten to the top 16 in 4. He's the only person to do that. There's a few that have done it 3 times, but he's the only one who's gotten into the top 16 4 times out of the 5 events so far. So that's pretty good. That's probably why he's up here in the top 12. Polka, he got into the final 4 of the first Grand Slam. His win percentage in the SRPC is around 62%. Nick Christie, he hasn't gotten to the top 4 of any event, but he's done consistently well across all events. He's gotten to the top 8 twice at least. His win percentage is around 67% so far. Tyra Zeal, we talked about him. He got to the top 4 in event 2. And he has a chance to get to the top 4 or more in the current event, the current Grand Slam. His win percentage in so far in the SRPC is 63%. Sweet Justice was in the finals of Event 1, lost to BMC Fluff, and his win percentage is 66. Darklighter, he's a scrub, we won't talk about him. Bungo has a 65% win percentage so far. He hasn't gotten to the top 4 in any event either, but like others, he's played consistently well. That's why he's in the top 12. Darklighter and Bungo, after this current event's done, they may get shifted out of the top 12. We'll see, depending on how the people below finish. But we'll see. So that's kind of what's going on. Highlight some of the top players so far. I was going to show you some of the league records. Let's see if you can see this. There's some interesting things I've noticed as I've gone through these. Let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see. Season win percentage. So these are the win percentages of players across all games so far. So Deegan, like I mentioned, is the top win percentage so far. Poo Dog is number 2. Now he's only played in one event, the current event. So he had a 71%, about 71% in event 5. I may change these stats to kind of filter out by, you have to have a minimum number of games to be put in the top 10, but I haven't done that yet. So anyway, there's Darklighter again, that's Scrub. And then Tyler Z, I think, has only played in one event as well, or maybe 2. But that's the top win percentage so far through almost 5 complete events. Some other stats I was going to highlight in the, let's see, that I thought were interesting. Event finals reached. You can see here 1 1 1 1 1 1. So we've had a different set of people in the finals in all 4 events so far. And didn't this show used to have a co-host? Yes. Yeah, it did. He wasn't available. Where's Bry? Well, Bry wasn't the co-host, it was Bax, but yeah, where is Bry? I haven't seen him here. But like I was saying, so far every finals has had a new set of players, so there's been no repeats, and we won't have any repeats in this event 5. So I guess that shows that there's a lot of good players. There's no dominance so far, I guess. Another interesting thing was it's the same with the top 4. So in each top 4 in all the events so far, there's been no repeats. No one's gotten to the top 4 more than once. I think that's interesting, that it's been a new set of players every time. Now, there is a chance in this one for Tyra Zeal to get to the top 4 for a second time. He will be the first one to do that if he wins this next match. So, again, no pressure. Brian is asleep. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. He doesn't sleep, it seems. Okay, so I don't know if there's any other stats here. I've added some new stats that I'll be tracking. You'll see them next time I update the league records. Win percentage with certain expansions. So win percentage when you're playing with Gambits. I have win percentage when you're playing with Heroes. The multi-faction sets, events. These numbers don't really mean much yet. It's a fairly small sample size. But as we play more and more games, they'll mean more, I guess. I posted this on the Facebook page. Just got a couple more things to mention about the SRPC, and then I'm going to get on to streaming some arena games, unless you guys have any questions. So I posted before, but I've changed somewhat the schedule since I originally started this league. So I've already mentioned the next event will be a 2-stage double elimination with missions. The 7th event will be another Grand Slam. That hasn't changed. It'll include all sets except missions. Event 8 will be a Swiss tournament, our second Swiss tournament. It will include the Gambits and Promos sets, so G1, C2. Event 9 will be a single elimination tournament with the multi-faction sets. I think that's been the same since I started the league. And then I've already talked about Cranky wants to know where he is on the list. Does he? I think you want to know where he is on the list. I mean, it'll be published in a week or two. The whole list. Let's see. Cranky is at 52. A little bit behind Jennifer. Let's see. So yeah, I talked about the season finals already and what's changed about it. There is. I've already started thinking about changes for. Oh, he did ask earlier. Oh, sorry, I missed it. Anyone else ask that I missed it? Who else is here? I know Astarlia, or how do you say it? What's your IGN? Astarlia. Um, is here, but this is your first event, I believe, so you won't have a rank yet. No, he didn't ask. I didn't think he asked. I think someone was asking for him. But anyway, he's at 52, so he's, he's in the middle of the pack, but one win will... Elegant Chaos. Bob, how are you? So that's all I had for the SRPC. Does anyone have any questions, or were they hoping for me to talk about something that I haven't? Otherwise, I'm going to stream some Arena. Well, while I'm streaming, if you have questions, like I can always answer them about while I'm streaming too. So, if there is, thanks for all I do in the SRPC. Yeah, no problem. It's fun. Like I've mentioned before, this is the type of league I've always wanted, so I decided just to do it. Brian, you just woke up. I knew it. I knew he was here. Well, should we see where Brian is in the rankings before we sign off? He is 22, so he's up there. Brian's up there. Bob has a question. Does he? Bob, do you have a question? 22. Yep, you are correct. 22. Can I do a round where you don't lose immediately? Well, we're gonna have a Swiss in 2 events. Sorry for making you wait so long to put this together. How did you make me wait? I'm not sure who you're talking to there, but you didn't make me wait for anything, I don't think. So event 7 will be a Swiss, so there will be no one leaving in the first round. Everyone will play the same number of games. I'm already starting to think of changes for season 2. One of those is I may add a third Swiss. Swiss events kind of take a long time, but as I'm seeing how things are playing out, I think a third Swiss might be good. One of the problems I'm seeing is, I don't know if it's a problem, it might be, is that, most of the events, the seeding is by rank, which I think it should be. But what happens is it becomes, the top players keep playing, the lower ranked players keep playing the top ranked players, these guys, and it's hard for them to kind of get out of the hole. What Swiss events do... Cranky said, I thought you said I had the idea and then waited because of Masters. Yes, that is true. I did wait because of Masters. I had the idea a long time ago. But that's okay. Masters was fun. So what was I saying? Oh, what Swiss does is it kind of normalizes things because there is no seeding. So everyone is kind of on an equal footing. The low-ranked players aren't pitted against the top-ranked players. It's Swiss. The first round will be random. So I think a few of those are needed in the event to kind of give the everyone a chance to kind of climb up without having to go through Frosty or Kincaid or Bungo, Polka to get up there. So There'll be at least two Swiss. I may add a third Swiss. I'll probably post something near the end of the season asking people for ideas for changes. I don't want to like completely change it because I think it's fun, but I think there are some things that we can do differently. But anyway, we'll get into that later. So, unless anyone has any other questions about the SRPC, I am going to switch over and start streaming some Arena. Swiss is the cheesiest of all the formats. Oh my goodness.